Hello and welcome to the first day of Lucie Reads. Today I'm going to be doing a video on the series that I finished in 2019. So today's the first day of Lucie Reads. Lucie Reads is a series that I try and do every year where I do a video every day for the last 12 days of December. This is the first day. Tomorrow there will be a live show where I do a Q&A / go over my channel survey. So if you want to be part of the live show, talk to me like live time. That's not the phrase I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. It will be on December 21st at 6:30, which is tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, so I hope you can come. It would mean the world to me, so yeah. But today's video is, like I said, the series that I finished. In 2019, I finished 6 series, so I'm just going to talk to you guys about them. I've done a video like this at least once before. I think I've done it last year for 2018 and 2017. I'm not sure though, but I'll leave down below the ones that I've done, and basically I'm just going to go over the books in each of the series, give my ratings for them, how I felt about the series overall, and then do like an average rating and then my actual series rating, because I find that a lot of the time, I guess the average rating that I'm supposed to give it based on the ratings that I gave each individual book isn't exactly what I would rate the series overall, so I just give you guys both of those. Make sure you stay till the end of the video because I have some fun stuff going on at the end of the video. These series are in no particular order. They're just the order that they are in my spreadsheet where I keep track of these things. And yeah, it just so happens that the last series is my favorite series of the year, I guess, but it's not on purpose. So the first series that I finished was the Dash and Lilly Duology by Rachel Kahn and David Levithan. The first book is Dash and Lily's Book of Dares, which follows Dash and Lily after Lily leaves a special notebook that she writes that's full of dares, and Dash finds it and decides he's gonna do the dares. It's a cute, like Christmassy contemporary romance, and I gave it 4 stars. The second book is the 12 Days of Dash and Lily, and it's just a sequel that takes place a year after the first book, and I gave that 3.5 stars. On average, the series would get 3.75 stars, but as an actual rating for the series, I would give it 3.5 stars, just because I felt like the second book was really unnecessary, and I liked it a lot less than the first book. It could be a combination of things because I read the second book this year, and I read the first book probably at the very beginning of my booktube journey, so in maybe 2015 or 26, I can't remember when I started booktube, but I'm going on my 5th year of being on booktube, so that's gonna be a special theme next year. Yeah, so the second book just felt really unnecessary and I liked it less, so it brought down the series, I guess. What are you doing? If you hear weird noises, my cat is, I don't know what he's doing. He's mad at me because I put him in a Christmas costume. There's a picture right here. He's so cute. I took him out of the Christmas costume because he hated it. But I had to take some pictures, but he's mad at me. The next series that I finished is the Howls Moving Castle trilogy by Diana Wynne Jones. This series is a companion series that are all set in the same fantasy world, and in the first book, we follow Sophie, who has resigned herself to life as the eldest daughter in her family, and nothing exciting ever happens for the eldest daughter, so she's resigned herself to that. But then she manages to anger the Witch of the Waste, who then casts a curse on her that causes her to become an elderly lady, and the only person who can help her is Wizard Howl, who lives in his moving castle. And the second and third books have Sophie and Howl and characters from the first book in them, but they're like more background characters, so we just get to see glimpses of their lives in the future. So the first book, Howl's Moving Castle, I gave 4 stars. This is a very popular book / series, I guess, because the first book was made into a movie, a Studio Ghibli movie, so it is incredibly popular. It is one of my favorite movies, which is what made me start reading the series. The book didn't have quite as much magic for me as the movie, but it is still a very good book. The second book is Castle in the Air, which I did not like as much. I gave it 3.5 stars. And the third book is House of Many Ways, which I enjoyed a lot, and I gave it 4 stars. And I found that it captured the magic of Howl's Moving Castle, the first book / movie, much better than the second book did. And I like the characters in the third book a lot better than the second book. So the average rating would be 3.8 stars, and my actual rating for the series, I would give it 4 stars. I did really enjoy the third and first book, and the second book just was meant to me, so I feel like that shouldn't cancel out me enjoying the majority of the series a lot. And yeah, if you're looking for a fun, whimsical read, then I would recommend them. I think they are middle grade books, I'm pretty sure, so they would be good to like read with your kids or something. Obviously these would be fine for a kid to read by themselves, but I think it would be a nice family bonding moment to read with your kids. Yeah, the third one especially felt really episodic to me, which I feel like makes it a good like bedtime story. The Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy by Laini Taylor. This series is kind of hard to explain, but basically we follow a girl named Karu who lives in Prague, and she has like blue hair that grows out of her head, and she draws these mystical creatures that you don't know if they're real or not, and she happens to run errands for a like mythical being monster thing, and it's about that and what happens after that and discovering things, and it's hard to explain. The first book is Daughter of Smoke and Bone, and I gave that 4 stars. I really did enjoy it. I think going into the book not knowing that much is really, really beneficial to the series as a whole, especially the first book. I mean, only the first book, because the second and third book, you kind of have to know what's going on before you get into it because you read the first book. Anyway, everyone talks about the writing of this series. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was as mystical, magical as many people think it is. It might have been because I listened to the audiobook for every book in the series. Who knows? But it was still good. But the issue that I had with the series and the issue that I had with the second and third books is just how long-winded it is. The second book is Days of Blood and Starlight, and I gave that 3.5 stars. And the third book is Dreams of Gods and Monsters, and I gave that 3 stars. There is also a novella that comes in between 2 and 3, the second and third book, but I'm never going to read that. I don't care about the characters that it's about, so I'm not including this in my whether I finished the series or not. For the most part, in most series, I don't include like novellas that are part of a series as being part of the series where the series is a full novel series, if that makes sense. The main books are full novels, then I don't think those should be required reading. Those are like extra reading if you want to, but I don't consider them in whether I finished a series or not. But sometimes, I think in last year's video, I like read a novella that was part of a series and I like rated it and included it in my rating. Like if I do that, I'll do that, but I'm not gonna stop myself from considering a series finished if I haven't read a novella, if that made sense. All that to say, I'm not gonna read the novella in this series. So the average rating based on the ratings that I gave each individual book would be 3.5 stars, but my overall actual average rating for the series would be 3 stars because in the end, I was just bored. I ended up not really caring about the characters. I thought the third book would redeem it, but it was just so long. The cast of characters kept being added to and kept focusing on different characters that I didn't care about, that I felt like didn't need to be there. I didn't enjoy those characters, so that brought the series down for me, and just in general, I felt like the series went downhill. We started off really strong with the first book, and the whole mystical bit part of it, just like discovering what was happening, was really exciting and fun, but the second and third book just didn't have that same magic, I guess. Women Are Some Kind of Magic by Amanda Lovelace. This is a trilogy of poems. I wasn't sure whether I should include this in this video because they're just poems and they're not really narrative poems. Like it's not like something like Ellen Hopkins where it's telling a full story. Like within the books, there is like a narrative thread, but a lot of the time they're just like poems, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I'm still including it because it's marketed as a trilogy. So the first book is The Princess Saves Herself. In this one, which I gave 4 stars, you've probably heard of the first one because it was incredibly popular when it came out. It was one of the first of its kind, I guess, of like the modern poetry we see today with like Milk and Honey and that kind of poetry. The second book is The Witch Doesn't Burn in this one, which I gave 3.5 stars. And the third book is The Mermaid Saves Herself in this one, which I also gave 3.5 stars. I feel like I should mention, I got the second and third one from NetGalley, from the publisher, in exchange for an honest review, which I gave when I originally read them. I will try and leave like the individual wrap-ups that I reviewed some of these books in. If you're interested in hearing like more individualized thoughts of any of the books, the average rating, if I just add up and divide the star ratings, would be 3.67 stars, which is not a rating I would ever give anything, but I would round that down to be 3 stars for my actual like personal rating for the series overall. I was just underwhelmed by the series of poetry. I didn't feel like it needed to be a series. I'm not really a poetry reader, so keep that in mind, but the first one I thought was really good, and the second one, like their individual ratings, I gave them each like 3.5 stars, but just as a series overall, like some kind of cohesiveness, it just didn't do it for me. The Crazy Rich Asians trilogy by Kevin Kwan. This is yet again a very popular series. The first book has a movie, which I actually have watched and enjoyed. The series follows Rachel and Nick. Rachel is Chinese American and Nick is originally from Singapore, and they're dating and they decide to go visit Nick's family in Singapore for a summer because they're both teachers and they have summer break. And that is when Rachel discovers that Nick's family is actually indeed crazy rich, and she is exposed to the world of Crazy Rich Asians. The first book, Crazy Rich Asians, I gave 4 stars. The second book, China Rich Girlfriend, I gave 3.5 stars. And the last book, Rich People Problems, I also gave 3.5 stars. So the average rating would again be 3.67, but my actual average rating that I would give the series is 3.5 stars. Overall, this was a fun series to read. I really recommend it if you enjoy like the dramatized lives of the rich and not so much famous, but they're really rich, and like the opulence within the story is a lot and super fun to read. Just hearing about all the drama that they get into, that Rich People Problems as the name of the third book. It really is Rich People Problems. Oh my God, my yacht is the wrong color. What shall I ever do? Like that kind of problem. This series does end up dealing with some deeper stuff, but once again, it just feels like not above you, but it's just like, this is not relatable at all, which is fine, and it was fun to read. But nothing about the series was especially groundbreaking, and I felt like the second and third books kind of lost their way as the cast of characters grew larger and larger and focused on other things that I wasn't super a fan of. And the last series that I have to talk to you guys about is the Six of Crows duology. I don't know how to hold things. Should this be in a different order? Six of Crows duology. So excited to talk about this. I actually read this at the beginning of the year, so I feel like I haven't really talked about it that much recently, at least. I think in the beginning of the year I did, maybe, I don't know. If you don't know, this is a sequel series to the Grisha trilogy. I'm just going to hold up Six of Crows. This is a sequel series to the Grisha trilogy. This follows a new cast of characters in a different part of the Grisha world, Grishaverse, and we follow the new characters as they try to pull off the heist of a lifetime. And yeah, it was so good. It was so good. The series is already very popular. You don't need me to tell you everything great about it because I'm sure you've already heard it ad nauseum, but I'm still gonna tell you. The series is getting its own Netflix series along with the Grisha trilogy, so I haven't talked about that at all because I'm hesitantly excited for it. I was a little bit disappointed in the casting, but I don't know, I had no expectations. So yeah, and I just don't know how they're gonna do it because they're combining the series and everything. Anyway, this isn't what this is about. This is the first book, Six of Crows. I gave it 4 stars, and the second book, Crooked Kingdom, I gave 5 stars. So that would mean my average rating is 4.5 stars, and so my actual rating, I would round it up to 5 stars. I don't often round up, but I just felt like that this needed to be rounded up. This is as close to the perfect duology as it can get, the perfect series in my opinion. The perfect series is probably a duology in my opinion, just because I prefer shorter series. That's probably why all of these series that I've mentioned have been duologies and trilogies. That's what I finished this year. I don't really read series that are longer than 3 books that much, so yeah. But anyway, not about this. This was as close to the perfect series as I could get. The reason I gave the first book 4 stars is because the beginning is very slow because it is laying groundwork for the rest of the book and the second book. And the groundwork that it laid is why I loved the second book so much. And since in tandem, these books worked so well together, that means that the series should get 5 stars, in my opinion. So this was backwards this whole time. It's fine. Oh shit. This is how crazy I am that I'm just flinging everything around. And so yeah, that is the conclusion of this video. I ended with my favorite series of the year. And yeah, I love this so much. I love Crooked Kingdom so much. It was so good. Look at my tabs. So good. I might reread it next year before the series. That's saying something. Me rereading a series a year after I read it, that's crazy. Not time for the outro yet. So since this is the 12 days of Lucie Reads, I am going to be doing a couple things different than I have done in previous years. This year I'm going to try and give back or something like that. So every video in the next 12 days, I will be giving out a shout out at the end of the video, and I will also be doing a giveaway at the end of some videos. Not all the videos. They will be arcs that I have, and so I will be shipping them. So these giveaways are US only. I'm sorry about that, but US only because I have to pay for shipping. and international shipping will be like triple the cost of the actual books. First, a shout out. Today I'll be shouting out Kimberly Ann. Her channel is Kimberly Ann. If you like my videos, I think you'll enjoy hers. She's a little bit more bubbly and like fun than me, if that makes sense. Like, I know that I'm a more calm personality, but she's a little like a step above mine, I think, or like a couple steps above mine. And she's just like cute and fun. I think we have somewhat similar reading tastes. She does read a lot more like more popular YA books, if that makes sense. So if you enjoy my content, you should check out her channel and decide if you like her content and subscribe and watch her videos. So that's the shout out of the day. So I'm going to be doing that in every video in the next 12 days. Not in every video I will be doing the giveaways. It'll be random, like you just have to wait till the end of the video. So to enter today's giveaway, you will have to enter what was your favorite series that you finished this year, or if you didn't finish a series this year, what's a series you're excited to finish, something like that. And you have to leave your Instagram handle or Twitter handle down below so I can contact you, because in the past I didn't ask for that, and then I couldn't get in contact with the people because I couldn't use YouTube messaging and things, or like people weren't responding to comments. So yeah, you also have to answer me when I like DM you. And so the books that you will be winning from this video are The Gilded Wolves and Furyborn. I tried to do like a theme for each of the ones, not really, but this one I feel like fits the theme. They're both first books in the series, and I just did a video where I talked about finishing series. So yeah, this is a 2019 arc. This is a 2018 arc. Like I said, they are both arcs, and I have read and handled all of these books, so they are in, they're not in like new condition, but they're perfectly readable. You can see them here, and I think someone will enjoy having them. So if you want to enter the giveaway, follow those rules. I'll also have them listed down below because I came up with them on the fly. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any opinions about any of the books that I talked about in this video, please be sure to leave a comment down below, and also a comment that to enter the giveaway. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I post a video. This week I will be posting every day until not this week, the rest of this month. I will be posting every day until December 31st or January 1st. You know what I'm trying to say. And tomorrow there will be a live show. So yeah, thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. I finished 6 series. No, not 2020, 2019. Did I say 2020 this whole time?